drummer, and you're Kenio. You're the singer, right?
One of them. That's correct.
Yeah. How long have you been playing together?
Walking Rumor has been playing together for like 5 years now.
Yeah.
We started back in 2015 during May, where we were just like five guys doing this project, like setting up different types of genres of music to see how could that combine into one genre and see what happens. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how the sound from Walking Rumor came to be.
Okay. Because I read a bit about you, and I saw that you've been talking to the Linkin Park community.
Yeah, we recently just got embraced by, I think it's called Linkin Park World Fan Club. It's some kind of blog website that actually reached out to us and wanted to have an interview,
Yeah.
which was really, really awesome for us because we're like huge fans of Linkin Park, and having our music inspired by them, and getting embraced by their fan community was really overwhelming and kind of surreal in a way. So that's actually one of the best interviews we had so far.
I can imagine. There was a lot of talk about the mental health issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that an important part for you as well?
It should be important to everybody. Like that means, of course, it is very important to me. Meaning that I can relate to how depression feels like.
Yeah.
It's like being a victim of that particular diagnose myself. It's one of the things that I live with every day. But it's more like having of the means to like conquer it in a way. It's like it's hard to describe if you're not really sitting in that position yourself. But like all the things that comes with the mental health, whatever it's anxiety, if it's depression, if it's whatever it is, it needs to be talked about. But what I'm getting worried about, in a sense, is that seeing how much people are talking about it now, it feels more like it's getting more trendy to having it than to solving it.
Yeah.
Which actually makes me more like a fighter for having a voice in this particular field.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like fight for the little guy in that way.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Your new single is coming out in next week, right?
Yeah, it's coming out June 1st.
Yeah.
You can pre-save it already on May 27th, I think. Yeah.
On cool, Spotify. That's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Whoa. I just got chills. It's kind of cool when you realize that's tomorrow.
They're multiplying.
Yeah. Man, I have to try and transcribe this tomorrow so we can promote it really well. I was thinking about, I listened to a few of your former songs, and I can hear a lot of the Linkin Park inspiration, but what other influences do you have?
Well, Linkin Park is one of the main inspirations for our music, that's for sure. We have tried like implementing like elements from Limp Bizkit as well, or as some of the materials you can hear on the upcoming album is very elements implemented from the newer Papa Roach or Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah.
So that's actually bands that we haven't really like had the means to implement from before.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those danger zones we haven't really tried out because they're so good at what they're doing. Like, not saying that Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit is at what they're doing, but especially Bring Me the Horizon is really innovative in how they write their music.
Yeah.
And we wanted to try to do kind of the same thing, but not then and not again. Like you know what I mean? Doing our own thing.
Yeah.
But being innovative in our own way.
Yeah.
With our own particular genre.
Talking about the new metal, the new metal. I remember when Limp Bizkit started out, and there were really two different sets of people who one set thought that this was awesome, that you combine the hip hop, the rap with the metal, and the
Yeah.
other group was like, you can't do this. Today, I feel like a lot of bands really take it to them, that they actually see that there is something to combine, because there are two, hip hop and rock are two very exposed kinds of music. Have
Yeah.
you felt that the music is more accepted today?
Um, I think new metal, particularly new metal, always have had to struggle to
Yeah,
get some kind of respect in a way. It's like especially here in Denmark, it's kind of either or.
yeah,
It's like if you're a metalhead, then you're playing the harder types of genre of metal, or you just don't touch metal at all. So when we came out like playing new metal and we implemented some like pop genre, we implemented some rapping into it, and every other metalhead we knew in the community was like, you guys know you're Disneyland, right? so so we just like yeah, and we kind of embraced that. We kind of like instead of seeing it as a bad thing, we're just embracing it and like saying we're that unique in Denmark in general, you know. It's like I don't really know if I can really come up with any bands in Denmark that does the same thing that we do.
no,
So instead of seeing it as a bad thing, we're actually seeing it as a very positive thing.
yeah,
And and instead of just feeling that we have to defend it, we're just promoting it in a way,
that's awesome.
and that seems to work for us.
Yeah. So back to your own music. The single is coming out on June 1st,
Yeah.
and you're releasing a new album. Is that planned for this year also?
Well, we "Do or Die" is actually the first song off the album. This is the first song you'll hear off the album. So we're kind of doing it in a kind of different way, seeing it as a content creator instead of just musicians. Because you're creating a media, you're creating something that people really want to follow, and it's becoming more of that implemented in our everyday lives in a way, kind of like a YouTuber, you know.
Yeah.
So instead of just releasing the entire album, having it getting popular for like 2 weeks, and we're just gonna stay silent and unrelevant the next 1.5 year, so we're taking like the opportunity of releasing like 12 singles.
Okay.
So it's gonna be like one song for each month. So there's gonna be one the 1st of June, the 1st of July, the 1st of August, and so on until the entire album is released. So actually, people will have something to look forward to constantly,
Yeah.
and it kind of gives us the time as well as like while this album is getting released one song at a time, it actually gives the band a whole 12 months of working on something new
That's cool.
instead
That's
of just stressing about it. It gives us actually 12 months to work on something.
Yeah. Are you playing live? Anything? Do you have any tour plans?
Right now, live shows are more up in the air. It really varies because we just hit a very sensitive spot in our personal lives, and some of us, like including myself, have exams and a back injury. That's why I'm actually sitting on the floor right now. So
Okay.
it kind of prevents us from playing shows at the moment. But
Yeah.
live shows are, of course, something that we're planning to do in the near future as soon as possible. But we will keep people updated
Yeah.
on every social media.
That's nice. I'll post all of the links for your social media in the blog post then,
That'd be
so
awesome.
everyone can find it.
Yeah.
It's important. But you know, if you have back problems, it's you and Fred Durst from
Yeah. Yeah.
well, from Limp Bizkit. You know,
Yeah.
when he did the whole back brace thing on the MTV Awards with the neck collar and everything. Did you
Yeah.
see it?
It's kind of the lower parts of my back. It feels more like a lightning bolt just hitting through my spine constantly.
Oh,
And right now I just celebrated my birthday yesterday with a lot of friends, and I was like at 10 o'clock. I felt like I need to go to bed because I can't really stay straight up anymore. So I'm feeling more or less handicapped lately.
I get that. I really do. I hope you get well soon.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you.
Yeah. So I was thinking, you've played for a couple of years. We have a lot of readers who are musicians themselves.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you have any tips for them. How do you actually get the band to get noticed?
Uh, to get noticed, it's more like fake it till you make it. It's like maybe you're not having a tour band, maybe you're not having a band manager, uh, but you don't need all of that just to get people seen by you now because the internet is out there and it's this very very strong tool to get your music out without spending anything, and especially with social media.
Yeah.
Just like research the hashtags and release something that's in a more high quality instead of just recording yourself playing in a garage somewhere. Actually spend your money on a decent studio and a decent producer to actually help you with your music and get it out there. Like our EP was recorded at a place called Merkwerk Studios.
Mm-hmm.
It was 5 songs, and we could actually have just, of course, recorded ourselves in our home studio, but that wouldn't have been the same kind of quality.
No.
So we actually we saved up, went to the studio, and got a decent producer, worked on the album, and it actually when it came out, it kind of blew us away how well it did for just as a first EP. And when usually you see bands working on multiple EPs before having to work on an album or releasing multiple singles.
Yeah.
But we just released one single called "Proud of Me," and that followed up with the entire EP. And before we know, we were looking at record labels, contracts, and releasing 2 new singles, touring with El Nino on a European tour, and we were just kind of overwhelmed by all of this, and we were like, what is the next step for Walking Rumor? And the next step would obviously be an full length album
Yeah.
because we reached all of this with just one EP, and we didn't really expect that to happen. So my best advice for musicians is don't strive for success as the only goal.
Okay.
It's like if you quit everything and see success as the ultimate goal, you're reaching that now. You can't really predict that you're gonna get it because no matter how much music you make, it's not gonna be worth anything if nobody likes it. So it's really just a throw of the dice, you know. Like when we released "Proud of Me," we had no idea that it would turn out as well as it did. It was just a roll of dice.
Yeah.
So remember that you have a life except just music, and it may just be just as important as music. Like you have your family, you have your friends and your girlfriends, and what do I know? And so if success comes your way, embrace it, enjoy it, but don't let it be everything. Because if you let it be everything, it's gonna tear your group apart.
Yeah. That's some solid advice.
Well, thank
Really.
you.
Well, it's great. It's nice to know what different bands think about it, really, because it gives small and big bands different perspectives on how to move forward. So I really like to ask that question because everyone answers in their own way.
Yeah, it's more like if you want to put something out there that you would listen to yourself. Like you wouldn't turn on Spotify and find some home recorded song at all. Uh, like you would just skip it.
Yeah.
Like in some way it takes the average listener 7 seconds to see if your song is worth listening to or not, or just gonna swipe it,
Mm.
like swipe to the next. I do that myself. So
Yeah.
and so put something out there that's worth the quality, and don't strive for success so much that it's gonna be your everything, because that's gonna tear you down.
Yeah. So, what's your dream goal? Not what you're striving for, but what's the big thing that you could wish for?
Oh, in music or just in life?
In music, but
In
with
music.
life too.
um, well, I would like kind of like my idols. We all have that kind of little boy inside that wants to go on a big stage and have a big audience and whatnot, and play perhaps some rock and ring. Um, Actually, until a few months ago, I thought that was actually my dream.
Yeah.
But the more I thought about it, the more I realized it's actually more the connection with the fans. It's like you have it, you put something out there that actually makes a difference for somebody, and you're able to help them in a way with your influence. You can do stuff that's good for someone else, and I really like that idea, and I really like having the connection with fans, like going to a show, embracing people, giving them hugs, and hearing their stories, and let them hear our story. That's what I want. So no matter if I get like I don't know 70,000 people on a crowd, that would be awesome. But if I can have that, but not having the connection, it wouldn't really be worth anything for me.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing, actually. So, in your life, then, what's your dream in your life? Now that I, now that I have you here.
So the dream of life, um, I don't know, perhaps a sustainable future where your biggest worry is gonna be what am I gonna eat tonight. So like no matter what that like contains, it just sounds it kind of sounds like freedom in a way, like having a sustainable life without worries.
Yeah. A roof over your head and food in the fridge.
Yeah, exactly. As long as I have that, I'm pretty happy.
That's great. So, I usually finish with three quick questions.
Yeah,
Energy drink or vodka?
energy drink,
Anthrax or Metallica?
anthrax.
Sushi or hamburger?
Well, that's an easy one. Hamburger.
Okay, that's awesome. So thank you so much for this interview. I love it because 15, 20 minutes is perfect because you get both the personal and the musical stuff.